Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Finegold. This is 5 Minutes with Ben. I'm Ben, and I want to wish you a happy new year. I hope 2024 is a good year for you. This game was played in Paris in 1900, so a long time ago, between Miklós Brody, who I've never heard of, and Harry Nelson Pillsbury, one of the greatest American players of all time, the winner of Hastings 1895. And opening they played is pretty modern looking, actually. Pillsbury played as Sicilian, and they transposed into the classical variation, which is part of my chessable course that came out last week. Bishop e2 is a passive move. My chessable course, I recommend knight takes d4 followed by g6. Pillsbury played g6, which is also good. Now we transpose into a dragon where white's played bishop e2, bishop e3, which isn't the most testing. Okay, castles, bishop d7. I mean, this game can be played today. h3, very reasonable. Okay, now in this position, Pillsbury made a tricky move. See, I'm nice. It's the new year, I'm being nice. Played a tricky move, which, wouldn't be recommended by the engines, and the trick worked. So I guess tricks aren't for kids. Black played queen a5. Typically, in Sicilians, when you can play queen a5 and your opponent can play knight b3, then you don't play queen a5, typically. So white should play knight b3 here, and white has a little advantage. Instead, Brody made the losing move, which looks very hard to do here. Like, how does white make a losing move? But tactics are tactics no matter what year it is. So Brody played queen d2, and black has a winning tactic here, which Pillsbury either figured out or he already knew. I'm not sure. He played knight takes e4. So the idea is bishop on e3 is overworked in case white captures on e4. We capture on d2, and the bishop is defending both, and the knight's not defended sufficiently on d4. So if we leave the bishop on e3 and play knight takes d2, black is still up a pawn with an excellent position. Some threats too. Okay, so knight takes e4, black just plays here and black's a pawn up for nothing. The trickier move, which Brody played, is knight takes c6. So let's go back so you're less confused. Knight takes e4, knight takes c6. This is what happened. And now there's one move that gives black a slight advantage, and there's one move that wins. The move that wins is really cool. So if you're like, I'm not getting my 5 minutes worth, this will do it for you. You'll like this video just because of this move. So black played the winning move, queen takes c3, confusing his opponent. But since I have an engine, I wasn't confused. And this wins material and gives black a better pawn structure also. The reason this works is the queen is attacked here on d2. So they traded queens, they traded knights, and black's obviously winning. Black's up a pawn, and white has a horrid pawn structure. The game didn't last very long. Bishop d4, castles, f4. Black wants to put immediate pressure on the c-pawn because that's really weak. White played bishop d3, and black wins a pawn by playing the move e5. After they trade, the bishop has to move away from d4, so it did, and now black plays the simple bishop d5, unleashing the rook on the c-pawn, stopping c4, because I can just take it. The only way to defend the pawn and not lose it immediately is to play bishop d2, but then e4 attacks the bishop and unleashes an attack on the c-pawn. So no matter what white does in this position, black's going to be up 2 pawns for nothing. So white resigned. White's also going to have a worse pawn structure, but that's neither here nor there. So an 18-move victory from Pillsbury with a lot of nice tactics, and eventually he would be up 2 pawns, winning with black just out of the opening. So great game from Pillsbury. Pillsbury, very underrated player of all time. He died very young, got sick, and he was an absolutely brilliant player, and probably he was one of the top 5 players in the world for at least 10 years. But unfortunately, never became world champion. I'm Grandmaster Ben Finegold. Thanks for watching another 5 Minutes with Ben. Happy New Year. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks, everybody. Bye.